She left you for a guy that looks like he's never touched a weight, but gym was supposed to save you. Today, Will and I are going to go into the full breakdown of why she left you for a skinny guy, or any guy of that matter. So I know all this looks extremely complicated, but I assure you it's a pretty straightforward process on how you can not be the guy that girls leave. And instead, you can leverage your gym progress to get you real world results that you actually wanted in the first place, because most guys did it all for the same reason. They want respect from guys, they want attraction from women, and they want to feel good about their physique. First, we're going to go into what it is that women despise about gym guys, and then we're going to go into the solution and how to fix it. First, we need to understand the gym paradox, because for most guys, they think logically. So they think the more muscle they have, the more results they'll get. And this is the paradox. It doesn't work that way. Neglecting your aesthetics and constantly bulking and getting fat during dirty bulks actually has negative effects on your appeal and attraction. Yeah, most guys will get stuck in like a perma bulk, or even at that 16 to 18% body fat, which is just subpar. It's just not ideal. They're either doing that, or they're constantly bulking through half of the year, so they're looking fat, unattractive, and honestly looking like they have bad health for half the year, and then they cut down and they go straight back to being fat again. It makes no sense. It's yo-yo dieting and it doesn't work. Yeah, people do this in hopes that one day they'll have enough muscle to cut down and look big. For natural guys, it doesn't really work like that. You bulk up, you gain a bunch of fat, and then you just lose the fat and go back to where you started from. But it's an endless cycle, and you'll never get to the size that you want to cut down and be lean. So you may as well just stay lean and attractive year-round. There are countless studies now that show being in a slight surplus will provide you almost the exact same results as being in a massive surplus, only that you won't gain all the fat midway through. Next is a misinterpretation of signals. You see, gym guys, a lot of guys, account muscle to confidence. When muscle has nothing to do with confidence, it's only an illusion, a manifestation of what confidence could be, but it's not. Confidence is completely internal, and building muscle in the gym, getting a massive physique, a lot of the time, doesn't do much for your confidence at all. Sure, building good physique can increase your confidence, it can. However, most guys go way too far down the rabbit hole, only to leave themselves less confident than they were, with crippling body dysmorphia. I have seen time and time again, when I go out and I see these absolutely jacked guys, these guys that you can tell have spent the whole day preparing to go out. They look the part, they look jacked, they're the most introverted ones. Then you see the other guy who is this skinny guy, or let's just call it a loser, or like an average guy with zero ambition, is far more confident when on paper he shouldn't be confident. There's nothing he should be confident about. But this is the guy that gets the most attraction. This is the guy that gets results. I'm sorry. The third part of the gym paradox is that you neglect your social skills. Most guys that go to the gym cut out everything else. And this was me at the start. I went from having a pretty active social life. I was in school. I was in like pretty big groups, to sort of going to the gym. I cut out partying. I cut out clubbing. I cut out drinking, which are all good things, but that also cut out socializing. So I ended up having basically no friends except one or two, and my social skills took a hit. This is why it's really good to join like a sports club or some sort of club or class in general, because you're forced to socialize, you're forced to talk to people. And a lot of people sort of adopt the gym cell lifestyle. They think like, I'm a lone wolf, I'm on my own grind. It's fucking gay. And one of the worst parts about this, only being in the gym, which most gym guys are, because they work, they gym, they go home, and they eat all their protein macros for the day, watch some Sam Sulek when they go home and go to bed. The biggest problem with these guys is they end up fucking around with the gym girls. And I know I've talked about the gym girls and I talk my shit about gym girls. You know, they're not all bad, okay? But I'm sorry, bro. The whole gym has had a go. For the majority. The one that's talking to you in between sets, that's gone up and approached you, loves gym guys. And she's in a place where gym guys reside. So you can fuck around with the gym girls, but just please know you are not the only one. And long term, I just don't think it's a really good bet. You'll learn one day. The next one is very self-explanatory, and it's health indicators. This is very simple. Tall, dark, and handsome, they'll say it yourself. They've told it to me about 100 times. I've approached hundreds of women in my time, and they've all told me the exact same thing. They want a tall, dark, handsome man. And you can't be all of them, but you can create a character that is very similar. Women are biologically wired to look for health indicators. This is the main thing they're looking for. And the reason gym guys don't get the results they want is because oftentimes they actually show negative health indicators as a result from not living a healthy life, even though it appears to be healthy. They either take anabolic steroids, break out in pimples, they're bulking, breaking out in pimples, being inflamed, holding water in their face. They end up looking not healthy, and it's all subconscious. These women are thinking subconsciously, this guy has bad health. So you want to be tanned, lean, you want to have broad shoulders, a tight waist, you want to be tall. I know you just can't all be tall, but it has to be mentioned. We're not going to sit here and lie to you. They look for height, I'm sorry. At least try, man, like fuck. They look for a nice lean face, and they look for clear skin. And in fact, this can all be encapsulated into the AAA physique that we promote in every video. We're not going to go into it. We talk about it in every video, but this is essentially just the AAA physique. Yeah, the optics of a gym guy
is for the male gaze, and that's because that's all they're seeing online.
Oftentimes as well, these gym influencers, the reason they get so much results with women is not because of their physiques, it's because of their status. So it provides the illusion that being that jacked is what gets you girls, when in fact most girls aren't actually looking for that, which we'll get into. If you do want to build this AAA physique for yourself, this is literally what we do. We transform guys' life. Look at below. He went from having like really bad health indicators, being stuck in like a permabog, to getting shredded and turning into a literal fucking Chad. This guy is literally a model now. Same with our guy Rory. We gave him the plan, we gave him the structure so he was photo shoot ready. This is female appeal. If you want to learn how we do that and how we've transformed over 200 lives, you can go in the description, join the school. I think we've got only 14 spots. There were a couple of guys that joined last night, so it is a complete A to Z system to build you this physique. It's $39 for lifetime right now. You guys are robbing us, and the price goes up once we reach 250 members. We're gonna raise it to $100, so get in while you can. Next, we have arguably one of the most important, which is actually status, and not the status you're thinking. So, a quick explanation for this. Gym cells are usually this, or guys that go to the gym a lot. They're alone, they're desperate, they're anxious, they're paranoid, oftentimes taking anabolic steroids. They're introverted and they're insecure a lot of the time, despite what their physical appearance looks like. That is the internal of a gym cell. And Chads, or the guys who actually get results, are relaxed, secure, confident, extroverted.
Yeah, they're usually not the most jacked guys, but it's like the most normal guys, the most social guys, the guys that don't talk constantly about the gym that get the most results.
It might sound like we're anti-gym here, we're actually pro-gym. I think everyone should go to the gym. I mean, we are fitness coaches. However, I just think everyone goes the wrong way about it, and that's why we make the videos we do. In fact, having no physique long-term is a detriment. Everyone needs to build a physique. It's just people overestimate how much they need to, which we're going to get into with this breakdown.
And you will know if this is you, if you've been hitting the gym for a while and you haven't seen like any real world results. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because this is most guys that hit the gym. And it's quite frankly because you've been led astray by aspiring bodybuilders looking to oil up in a G-banger on stage. But if you're being honest with yourself, that's not really your goal, is it? You want real world results. And this is the solution to that. And the first one is you need to rebuild your identity, okay? It's got nothing to do with what you're actually doing inside the gym.
The main thing you want to be doing is building appeal, building a max appeal physique, which we discussed in the previous video, which you can go back and watch. This is essentially the physique that Hollywood producers manufacture for their actors for the max appeal to sell the most tickets from females. Next, kill all vices.
Yeah, because if you're being 100% honest with yourself, gym is a vice for you. You're using it as an excuse to not improve in other areas of your life. And this was me as well. I was sort of just coping at everything, saying, it's okay because I go to the gym. I'm dialed into the gym right now. Oh, I don't need to talk to women because I'm dialed into the gym right now. I don't need to focus on my style or the way I act or any of that stuff because I'm building my physique right now, bro. I'm locked in. I'm a lone wolf. Like I said, it's gay. Gym is not everything. It takes an hour out of your day. And because you're spending your whole life thinking about the gym and living in this sort of gym cell ecosystem, everything else gets neglected, like your appeal and building internal masculinity, not the external optics of masculinity through your physique.
Gym should just be like brushing your teeth. You should have a program in place. This is why we made the school group, so we could provide people with the programming, a diet program they can stick to, a training plan they can stick to and forget. Training plan and forget. That's all you need. It should just be like brushing your teeth and the physique will come along the way.
Also, quickly before we move on, we mentioned this in the last video. If you didn't know already, women don't want you to work for your physique. They want you to be born with it. That doesn't make any sense. I know. It doesn't make any sense, but that's just how it is and you need to accept it. They don't want you talking about the gym and spending your whole life revolving around the gym.
If you don't believe us, please, on your next date, talk about your protein intake, talk about your calorie goals, talk about your training program the whole date, and watch as she never contacts you again. They want to provide their kids with the genetic lottery, and if you work that hard for your physique, she's probably guessing you have bad genetics. Number 2 is to reach a baseline level of aesthetics, and this is probably a way lower threshold than you probably think. At the low end, we've got Jacob Elordi, predominantly known for his euphoria appearance, an absolute heartthrob for women. The main thing that women actually like about Jacob Elordi is that he didn't spend his entire time in the gym, but instead he was focusing on his athletic endeavors, which is utilizing his strength, which is a part of the AAA physique. Aesthetic, attractive, and athletic. That's why they're like rugby players, footy players, athletes in general.
The next step up would be something like Conor McGregor, which literally is an athlete. And once again, he's showcasing his physique in the best light by being an athlete. Now, I'm sure he didn't build his physique to be an athlete. He had the physique from being an athlete. That's like one of the most max appeal physiques.
And then at the highest end, which you probably couldn't get to this level naturally if you just have like average genetics or like sort of where we came from, it's John Skywalker and David Lay. These guys have the max appeal physique, and it's probably on the higher end. If you get more muscle mass than this, you're really getting into male gaze territory. This is almost at the line. But you'll notice like people like David Lade, who is truly aesthetic, is one of the only guys where girls are actually going up to him at like fitness meet and greets.
Yeah, I would call this like the enhanced max appeal physique, because most people would probably cap out right about here naturally. Most people would need to go the enhanced route to get to that. But the good news is you don't need to get to that position to have plenty of appeal.
Number 3 is to play the game.
So most people want to just opt out of this because they think it's ridiculous. They think, oh, well, but back in my parents' age, they didn't need to do all this shit. My friend, you don't have a choice. You're playing the game whether you know it or not. And by you trying to opt out of the game, you instantly lose at it. You need to play the game. Female psychology, female nature, whatever you want to call it, is just ingrained in their brain. It's hardwired in there whether you like it or not. And if you want to see results from the physique that you've most likely already built, then you need to leverage it by playing the game and trying to win at it.
This includes setting yourself up correctly on dating apps. It's about having big friend groups who also have appeal. And also just by going outside, not spending all your time in the gym. This seems like pretty basic stuff. This is about having options. It's about feeling confident, knowing that you are showcasing your physique in the best way and showcasing yourself as a man in the best light so that you can attract what you want.
And yeah, this is like kind of sounding like we're in a dating channel or something. But the truth is that most gym cells are extremely unhappy, and it's almost a culture to be depressed, which makes no fucking sense, because you were supposed to go to the gym to become happier, to enjoy your life more, to get more results. And the truth is, if you have the ability to get results, if you know you have options, it's a good life to live. You are just happier in general.
This doesn't just apply for women either. Men respect a good looking guy. You know, no diddy, they do. Guys respect good looking guys.
Yeah, the halo effect is real, and you will feel the effects of it, and you'll be much happier in general when you experience the halo effect day to day.
That concludes the video. The 4-week Spartan Protocol Challenge is the first link in the description. It's going to give you everything you need to build this physique. We're getting some insane results from our members inside there, and it's growing rapidly, so I hope to see you in there.